Hi guys, today I'm going to be just doing a guide on buying your first car. Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they're looking for a new car, they don't know what to get, and there's a lot of options out there if you look properly. And yeah, just want to show you the options you have. So yeah, firstly, I created an Excel sheet which I will put in the link in the description so anyone can view it. And essentially it's just a list of potential first cars you could get, and yeah, it's just potential cars that I thought that would be good options, and some of them are like cars that you may not know of and whatnot, because I know obviously looking at Auto Trader there's so many options that you just don't know what to look for. So yeah, I think it's good that just have a selection of what vehicles you can get insured on, type of thing. So what I mainly went for was the insurance group below like around 20 to 25. Most of them are below that by a mile, like some of them below like 10, but majority are below 20. And none of them are above 1.6 litres. So yeah, nothing near 1.8 or 2 litre engines, because majority of them won't be able to get insured as your first car. And yeah, majority of them have low horse, like they haven't got anything crazy, like I would say around 120. Some of them, like this one here, the Alfa Romeo Giulietta, has 170, but as that car specifically, I was looking to get insured on my first car, and so it is possible, but I just didn't go ahead and do it. But yeah, majority of them, yeah, are below 130 to 120, and road tax doesn't really go above 200 with these. And I made sure that the average price, or like a reasonable price for a vehicle, was below $4,000. Anything above that I feel like isn't really attainable for a first car, for majority of people. And yeah, that's mostly it. And I put this tab here just to so you can kind of see how much the fuel costs. So like I know MPG like isn't an amazing metric to look at and think, oh, that's how much the fuel costs. So I just based off the cost of fuel being 140p, 140p pence, and you doing 5,000 miles a year, which I think is a fair assumption. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to look at. So like you can roughly see how much it'll cost you per year in fuel costs. I mean, there isn't a big difference because they all kind of show that they have high miles per gallon or low fuel consumption. But I would say don't really look at it too deeply with the MPG, because the real world fuel cost is much lower unless you try really hard to keep that keep that miles per gallon high, like by doing longer gear shifting or whatnot. Like yeah, it's all about your gear shifting and how you drive the car. That's a big way to save fuel. So yeah, you'll probably save more money by just changing your driving style rather than getting a car that has better miles per gallon. But yeah, some people do look at that, and so that's why I put that in there. But yeah, don't look at these metrics of the miles per gallon. It's not realistic a lot of the time, because I have the Golf Mark 6, which is this one right here, and it says 44.8. And yes, I could get 44.8 at the start, but that was me really driving like really good. But for majority of people, I don't know if they'll drive at 44.8, and that's not even a good average. Like I was probably averaging below 40. Now it's, once you do some mods to your car, mate, it's all finished. Like mine's hitting like 25 miles per gallon now. So yeah, I don't really do much. I just put an intake on it, stage 1, and that's it. And the miles per gallon trembles. So yeah, just don't look at these miles per gallons that deeply. What I would suggest is looking at the engine size, and I put an engine size of what I thought would be like a good engine size to go for. But there is lower ones, like smaller engines. There is bigger engines. Like you're not constricted to that one engine. You can go, for example, with the Trying to think. I think with certain cars, you've got like 1.2s and whatnot. So like the Polo, you can go for a 1.2. And yeah, in general, yeah, there's just different engine models you can go for. So don't think that you're just restricted to that. These are just suggestions really to get your mind open to it. But yeah, feel free to use this and let me know what I can improve with this Excel sheet so I can help more people with buying their first car. I mostly put like a few cars from each brand, so that there's just variety, you know, like we're not sticking to like just VW or whatnot. There's different cars, and I tried to appeal to everyone. And I don't want to put too many cars. I could literally, like, there was certain cars that I did miss, like Renaults, Clios, and I think there was just a few more. I can't really get on top of my head. Like probably a Honda Jazz as well. An Audi A3, but I didn't really see that as attainable because, yeah, unless you get the older model, I just felt like if you're just going to go for the older Audi A3, you might as well go for a Golf Mark 6. So that's how I kind of played it in my head. Yeah, that's how that was my thought process. But yeah, feel free to use this Excel sheet. I'm going to put it in the link description. And I'm just going to go through some of the cars with you. The first one would be the car I own, which is the Golf Mark 6. To me, this is like the best car you could probably get in terms of it just doing its job. Like the engine runs fine. It's a TSI Caxer engine. They're known to be reliable. They have a timing chain. So yeah, you might have to do a timing chain on these. This example looks like a broken front bumper, but yeah, in general, they're reliable. They run well. And they do their job, and they're kind of easy to mod, as you can see in my videos, right? There's so many mods you can do. It's based on the VW group chassis and whatnot. These come with these 16-inch rims, which I got as well, which I upgraded since. There's so many mods you can do. The interior, whilst it's quite simplistic, it's cheap to just put a screen in and whatnot. There's just a lot of things you can do, and to me, like, there's nothing quirky about it. So you like, for the average person, they'll look at that and not feel a bit weirded out by how it looks from the inside. So it's not really offensive from the inside, and yeah, it just does the job. No reliability concerns there, and in general, it's a good car to go for. The insurance could be quite high on this, so just be careful. You might be paying a premium compared to other cars, but this is a good option. If you're going for like just looks, this is the type of car where like you don't care about reliability, you don't care about costs and whatnot as much. The Giulietta, is the most best looking car. You don't have to do any mods to it. It's got like LED lights and whatnot, xenon lights. It's literally got like a nice front bumper as it is. Like looks quite sporty to me. The rear looks good. It's got LED rear lights. Even the interior, like you got full leather seats. You got a nice gear knob. You got a leather steering wheel. The only thing I'll do is put a screen in there and boom, you got auto climate, which is like crazy. Like some people don't realize how important that stuff is, like auto climate. It's dual zone as well. So yeah, you won't realize until you get like my car. I got a Golf which hasn't got auto climate, and sometimes I think like, wow, to turn on and off the climate to keep it at a good temperature is just annoying. So yeah, having auto climate is a good benefit. But yeah, this is a really nice looking car. Reliability, that's just an issue you're gonna have to deal with if you're gonna have to get this. If you got money and you're fine with like dealing with the maintenance and the reliability, then I'll go for it. But to be honest with you, I was about to go for this car and I was told not to go for it because of the reliability concerns. So that kind of put me off. And a lot of the dodgy people sell this, and yeah, you just have to. Not a lot of dealers have this car, to be honest with you, at a good price. But yeah, it's got crazy, like it's got a sports, like dynamic. I'm not sure what the N means, but yeah, it's got like loads of modes and whatnot. It's just really like, it's just crazy how much it has for the price. that dual zone, as you can see. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just premium. Like maybe like the dash and whatnot, I'm not sure how that feels, but the seats and everything, like it's like you don't have to do any mods to it to make it good. Like it's just good as it is. With the Golf, to me, it's kind of basic space spec, and yeah, you kind of have to do a little bit to it to make it yours. Otherwise, it just looks a bit basic. Whilst the Alfa Romeo looks good, but yeah, to me, this is just too far unreliable to be even a real contender, really. But yeah, if you're just going for looks, I'll go for this. But apart from that, it's a bit too much. Now, this is another car. It is the Nissan PSAR. This is quite under the radar. This is why I put it here, because not a lot of people know about this car. So this shares like the 1.2 litre engine from a Nissan Qashqai. So parts shouldn't be an issue, but it's all about reliability. And I think I looked at the 1.6 diesel for this, which is Euro 6 because of how new the car is. And that engine has knocking issues from what I know. I'm not sure about the 1.2 petrol. I think it has some reliability concerns with it, as does the Qashqai. But this car is really good for the price. Like we're talking, you get like a 2014, 2015 car for around 3-4 grand, and it's like crazy. You get you get a leather steering wheel, you get stop start. So I think it's keyless entry, but I'm not sure on that. You get auto climate, so dual zone climate, just like the Alfa Romeo. It's probably more reliable than Alfa Romeo, and you get leather seats. So this is basically what I was talking about with the Alfa Romeo, but with less reliability concerns, because I feel like with the Alfa Romeo, you're just 100% likely to get an issue. Whilst this, less likely. You get 360 camera, which is crazy for this type of car. Rear camera and 360. Like we're talking not even 20 grand cars, 30 grand cars have that, and you're getting it on a 3-4 grand car. It's got sat nav, it's got radio, all of that. And it's just crazy how much it has. All electric windows. And it's got literally everything. Like I feel like you can't go wrong with the car unless you read up on about the 1.2 having some reliability concerns that might put you off. But this car even looks sporty to me. Like it looks like a GTR merged into like a hatchback, which is crazy. This car looks really sporty, and the rear looks a bit naff, but I mean it's not that bad considering. And yeah, you just get everything. I don't see a downside of this car. It looks a bit quirky on like the door cards and whatnot, and like the interior. This is a bit, bubbly, but yeah, 6-speed. It has everything you need. But yeah, this was a really like understated car. Like not a lot of people have it. Like what I'm trying to show is cars that not a lot of people have as their first car. So like Fiestas and all Polos and whatnot. I'm not really going to show, like you can all go for those cars. I'd even put a Corsa on the list because there's a lot of head gasket issues and whatnot. And it's just cars that I feel like I know that I wouldn't go for myself. I didn't really put on the list. But yeah, do tell me what kind of cars you want on the list to add. I might add them, but I'll see. So yeah, just do make your suggestions in the comment section below. But yeah, the PSAR, a good contender. Like I would say, this should be a car that everyone should look at as their first car. Maybe not buy it. That's up to you. But it could be down some people's taste because it has everything you need. And I don't like, other than it being a Nissan and not a German car or something, I don't see any downsides to this. It looks really good. And yeah, maybe it won't impress people like people think, but this car is good for the first car. Like people are going to be chilling in the back, like all leather seats and whatnot. It just looks really good. And it's like a 2014 car. So like, it's really good for the price. This is another car that not a lot of people look at. This is a Mazda III. And yeah, this car as well, I mean, to me, the interior is a bit too like old school. Like it's a bit outdated basically. So the Golf, it has quite a modern interior. Like it's not outdated. Like this, you can put a screen in there and boom, it looks quite modern. This one, it's hard to save really. Yeah, I don't see you saving the interior, but the exterior is nice. Like this exterior looks really nice and really sporty. And when it comes to reliability, I don't think it's too unreliable from what I heard. I know someone that used to own one of these cars, but yeah, the car from what I know is not too unreliable. But it just, to me, it's like, yeah, it's just an option, you know? And yeah, it's not in the Mazda II category of like really small and cheap cars. This is like a more premium car compared to that. And you might even find more leather seats and heated seats and whatnot. So yeah, if you do, then I would say this car is really good. Like, it's got good alloys. It just looks good. Like, in my opinion, this is a car that hasn't been looked at as well. This is the i30. This car, like, there's not many of them about. Basically, this car, with this specific model, they only made them in 2010 and 2011. Yeah, I could have shown you the rest of them, but they all look the same. But this one specifically looks more meaner than the rest. The rest of them just look really bad compared to this one. This one looks like really good at the front. The interior is good, so you got leather steering wheel. But yeah, it's a really good car, and I don't think there should be too many reliability concerns with this one. It should be one of the more reliable cars on the list. And yeah, this car it looks good. It's different. It's everything you need. Right, so I'm going on to the last two cars now. This one is a Honda CR-Z, right? So yeah, this car is understated as well, just like the Pulsar. It's a two-door coupe type of vehicle. It's a 1.5 litre hybrid. So yeah, it's because it's a hybrid, you might have a bit higher insurance, but I think with these cars, I tried to get insured on it as my first car, and it was quite cheap, cheaper than the Golf, I think. And yeah, it's cheap to insure, cheap to run. Costs like £30 in road tax. So yeah, cheap to run, cheap to insure. The miles per gallon is crazy. You're looking at 60, 70 miles per gallon, real world miles per gallon. It's a manual, which is crazy for a hybrid, but somehow works. It's not a plug-in hybrid, it's just a regenerative braking and whatnot. I don't know if it has regenerative braking, but it has the whole engine powers the battery and whatnot, and it's fuel efficient. So I think if you're looking for a really cheap to run car, it's this car here. This is like the cheapest to run car. And the interior is crazy good for the money. Like, we're looking at, it's got digital like stuff and whatnot, screens, and it's very driver focused. If you look at here, like, everything's aimed at the driver. The AC is auto AC as well. It's got premium features in it, and even it's got like sports, sport mode and whatnot, economic mode, parking sensors. And I think that's even like folding mirrors, which is crazy for the price. And yeah, the car in general is really good. It's got like LED headlights and whatnot. I think even the rear is LED. And yeah, it just looks completely different to everything else out there. For your first car, you're looking at something that has a leather steering wheel, nice cloth bucket seats. It's very sporty. Like, the rear seats don't exist pretty much, but if you're looking for a two-door car, this is the one, because yeah, some might not like the quirky type of styling at the rear especially, and I'm not sure how the blind spots are in this car. I haven't really looked into it properly, but yeah, this car in general is like really good depending on what type of person you are. Yeah, I would say if you're looking for something that's cheap to run, all of that stuff, and is high spec, it would be this car. You can probably get even a pan roof for this one, which is crazy. But yeah, this car is really good. The last car I'll look at is a BMW 1 Series 116i. It's the newer one, so I think it's the F21 or something. Get the manual one, I'd say. Don't get an automatic at this price. Try and go for a low mileage one. I haven't really heard of any unreliable issues with this engine, but it's a 1.6 litre. And yeah, this car is like, if you want a BMW, this is the one to get for your first car. It's quite high priced though. If you want a good model of it, you're looking at like 5k for it to be in good condition and whatnot. 4 to 5k, but yeah, and you're not getting crazy amount for it. You don't even have like auto headlights and whatnot, but you got leather steering wheel. You got the bare minimum. It's basically like the Golf, just like it's got a bit more. It's got like parking sensors and whatnot, but you're basically getting a Golf that is potentially less reliable, but also the performance could be there. Like we're looking at like stage 1 and stage 2. You could be pushing 200 horsepower with this, and you could literally like transform the whole front end. Like, yeah, you could put you could put an LCI front bumper on it. You can change the headlights to the LCI one. You can change the whole front end. You can change the rear. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think if you change this whole boot to the new one, to the new BMW boot 1 Series, you can change the LCI one and have the new headlight, the rear lights as well, even the rear bumper. You can just transform the car if you want. So that's there. Like you can be pushing at 250 horsepower, and the exterior looks like the newer model. Just put a private plate on there, and your car will be pushing 250. And even then, even if you don't want to do that, this car looks good. Just literally put a screen in, so you can change that screen to like a proper HD screen. Change like like the panels like gloss black or whatever, and it looks clean as it is. Like there's nothing quirky about it. Like some other cars out there, like even the Fiestas of the world and whatnot, they're pretty quirky. So yeah, I think these would be like my top 6, I'd say. Yeah, top 7. Not really include. I think the i30 isn't really part of that, so I'd say the top 6. So yeah, these are all my good options. If I'd had to choose one, well, I chose the Golf, but yeah, I wouldn't really go for the Alpha as much as I want to. I just can't. It doesn't make financial sense, Yeah, that when you use your brain with this, you wouldn't want to buy it. Basically, you wouldn't buy this with your brain. This one, it makes a lot of sense, and you're buying it for the features and whatnot. The Mazda III, less so, but it's an option that I just wanted to put forwards because less people know of that. The CRZ and the Pulsar are the most sensiblest options here. And if you're just going for looks, the Alpha. If you're just going for the most neutral car, it's the Golf. And if you're going for performance, it's the BMW. So I think I covered literally every aspect of what a person would want in their first car. But yeah, this is the list in general. If there's more that I could add, let me know. But yeah, in general, that's it, guys. Hopefully this has helped you look for a first car, showed you options that are out there. And yeah, that should be all. And yeah, let me know what I could do with the list. And if it's helped you lot decide, and if you do decide what car you want, let me know in the comment section, and we could discuss about it and whatnot. But yeah, let me know, guys, and have a nice day.